Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Two Tickets, Please. Today, you're going to be following along on our journey on Iberia from Doha to Madrid. We booked our flight through Qatar Airways. However, this will be on their partner airline, which is also one of the One World Alliance airlines, Iberia. And this was our first time flying with Iberia, so we were super excited to see what the experience is, especially as we are living in Madrid. So being able to take the national airline is definitely a great experience. We will be flying on an Airbus A330, which this is the first time that we have flown on an Airbus A330, and the layout is actually a 242 layout. So we were super excited to not be the middle person or not have a middle person in between us.
Vale, ¿qué acento tiene? 50. Vale, ok. Sí, casi al final. 50. Vale, encantado. Nada. Gracias.
So you can see you have a comfortable foldable headrest. I really appreciate these headrests as I'm someone that prefers to sleep without leaning my head. We got these very comfortable pillows with a reusable pillowcase, so it was nice and soft and not scratchy like those one-time use ones. And we got a nice warm blanket that was really large as well. Our screen was about a medium sized screen, but it was quite modern looking. It didn't seem to be very outdated, so we were quite surprised by that. We have a foldable tray and quite a bit of leg space as well. They handed out these headphones, and in general, these headphones are not very good quality, and the sound is quite horrible on them, and it doesn't really cancel out the sound from the airplane either. So, in general, what we recommend is to bring your own headphones on board. If you have, especially if they're noise canceling, you can get those for quite cheap on Amazon. They had a power outlet, but they didn't have any personal air vents. One thing we noticed is, if you are someone who books a window seat and prefers to sleep with your head leaning against the wall, they have this very uncomfortable gap between the wall and the seat, so you actually can't do so. So if that is something that you struggle with, be sure to bring like a proper neck pillow so that you can sleep comfortably on the flight. This is going to be a 6.5 hour flight, and it is also going to be a red eye flight. So for the majority of the time, most people will be sleeping on the flight. Let's take a look at the entertainment screen. So it doesn't have the same IFE as Qatar Airways, and there's definitely a lot less options available compared to a normal Qatar Airways plane. However, there's still quite a lot of options. So you can see they have new releases, kids, classic, Spanish movies, and they also have the Iberia for Kids section as well. So one thing we noticed with the entertainment screen was that you couldn't fast forward or rewind. You had to try and just move it along to where you think you needed to be. And sometimes if you exited the video, you completely exited it and you couldn't go back to exactly where your movie was playing before. So you had to kind of play around and figure out where you were. One thing I was surprised about was even though they gave us some nice blankets and everything for the nighttime flight, they didn't hand out any eye masks, which is quite rare. So one thing we do recommend is just to bring your own eye mask. Luckily, we had some from our Qatar Airways flight beforehand. So here you can see the bathroom. It is quite small. In general, on the nighttime flights, the bathrooms tend to get quite dirty. This is about halfway through the flight, so you can see what the state of it is. I don't think that this is necessarily a bad review towards Iberia on this flight or towards the staff on Iberia. I think this is just quite common for a nighttime flight, so just keep this in mind when you are going on a red eye flight. They served dinner right after we took off. So there were two options. There was the vegetable pasta, which I had, which was delicious. And it was served with a salad and a carrot cake, as well as water and a soft drink. And the other option was to have chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables. One thing that was really cool was that they offered a Coca-Cola Zero Zero, so you could avoid caffeine while still enjoying your Coke. Before we landed, they handed out a snack. Now, here there wasn't any choice, there was only one sandwich available. It was a kind of interesting, like pickled vegetable sandwich. We did try to eat it. Unfortunately, we really couldn't stomach eating this right in the beginning of the morning. So it came with a Kit Kat as well, and you could choose between coffee, tea, or orange juice. In general, I really do commend Iberia for trying to lessen the amount of plastics that they use and for the amount of singular use items that they use on their flights. So I really do commend that. The one thing that I think would be a major improvement is to upgrade the earphones, to use similar ones to which Qatar Airways uses, to upgrade their IFE screens, to add the fast forward and rewind buttons, and then also just to have a couple more options when it comes to the meal options. For example, on Iberia, you usually have three options: a chicken, a beef, or a vegetable option. And in the mornings, there are also three options. So it's very rare that you're on a flight where they only offer you a singular option. Even on, for example, Tag Angola, which was not the best experience on a flight that we've been on, there were still multiple options for your breakfast option. Also, I think in general that the breakfast option that was offered was not something that was going to be received by many people. So I think they would benefit from having a more plain breakfast that most people would be able to stomach. So here we are landing in Madrid, and overall, the experience wasn't bad. I just think that surprisingly, with the amount of things that they added, like for example, having a 242 configuration instead of a 343 or a 333, and also how eco friendly they were with swapping out their single use items, it was surprisingly underwhelming as a flight. I was expecting this to be like an amazing flight, but unfortunately, the expectations, it didn't really live up to those expectations. Thank you guys so much for joining in on our journey. Please keep in mind that we are a self sponsored channel and we are not monetized at the moment. So please do like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below to let us know your thoughts, and it really helps us with our channel. We'll see you guys in our next video.